All right, so I should be live testing. Sound should be good. If you guys are new or just joining, I appreciate if you come in here and hit that like button. I appreciate it. So with that being said, we are a little late today, but we are still live, 3 p.m. Central Time. Just a little bit late, but that's okay. So I'm going to get the TikTok thing going. If you guys have any requests, let me know. After I look at Bitcoin, I will do your requests. I want to talk about LUNC Classic. I'm in a trade on that. It's looking bullish. It looks okay. The 4-hour chart is getting overbought, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I still think long term, I think we just made a higher low. So I do like that. So, all right, so let's start with Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is at $19,500, trying to get a push to the upside. That's what I would like to see, is a move above $19,500. You have very strong support here at $19,000, but you have resistance at $19,500 that you are struggling to get above, and then $20K is obviously resistance. If you get above that, the next major stop I would look for would be $20,800. So let's go over and start on the daily chart and see how the RSI is looking. So on the daily chart, RSI is in a downtrend, so I don't like that. It's at 52. The 4-hour chart is looking low, like it's due for a bounce, because it came all the way down to 0, and now it's trying to go up. So it could take a day or so for that to play out, but I do think the 4-hour chart is going to take over, and we are going to see a push to the upside by the end of tomorrow night. The 1-hour chart is in a downtrend, so that's probably going to take 3 to 4 hours at least to reset. So probably no crazy move, at least until at least this evening, which is in about 7 hours. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. Probably nothing crazy, but I would expect probably later tonight a move back above $19,500 up to $20,000 at least. So that's kind of what I'm watching out for right now at Bitcoin, and that's what I expect to happen. So I would say the rest of this evening is going to be kind of boring. Maybe late tonight, tomorrow morning, we can start to see a move to the upside. The thing you have to hold would be $19,000, which you have a lot of volume here, so you can't really lose that node and still be bullish. If you lose that, then I think we're going to come all the way down to probably double bottom around 17,560 within a few days of that. So just based off what I'm seeing, you cannot lose $19,000 and still be bullish. So thanks, guys, for whoever is joining. If you guys have any requests for crypto coins you would like us to look at, let me know, and we'll look at them. But right now, as far as Bitcoin goes, you have to get back above 19.5 first, and then if you get above 20K, it's going to be blast off. My measure move that I had out of this rising wedge, which it does look like it's broken to the downside, but it was 21,800. So if you break 20,800, the next stop would be 21,800. So that's kind of the support and resistances that we have to hold. Like I said, I think by tomorrow night, we're going to get a move back to 20K. So let's go over to Bookmap and see how that's looking. So Bookmap right now, shows you where the liquidity is at on Bitcoin. So right now on Bookmap, if we zoom out a little bit, you have some liquidity up here at 19.7, so that's another reason for a push to the upside. You have a lot more up here at 19.7, 19.750 than you do down here. You have some down here at 19.2, but you can see that this barely, it might be hard to tell, but this barely is a little bit longer than the one down here at 19.2, so it's more likely that you come up to 19,700 at least until you get moved back to the downside. And if I keep zooming out, there's really no liquidity above that. So I would say short-term 19.7 would be the next stop for Bitcoin later tonight into tomorrow morning. But because the 1-hour chart's in a downtrend, I would expect that 1-hour chart to reset before we got that move, which is at least going to take 2 to 3 hours bare minimum, probably 3 to 4. So 19.7 is probably at least the first stop. If you get up to 19.7, we can then obviously we'd have to reevaluate and see where it's at. But I would say 19.7 is the first stop to the upside. But if you do to break down, the next stop would be 19,250 because there's a lot of liquidity down there too. So that's where the two areas of liquidity are. So if you go up or down, those are the two areas that you're likely to go. I believe you are going to go to the upside, but we will see what happens. Appreciate the like. So if there's any requests, how's it going, Kelsey? Glad to see you here. So Kelsey on YouTube is requesting XYO and Chili's. I'm doing pretty good myself. How about you? I'm enjoying the weekend. So let's go look at XYO. I had an alert on XYO. I had an alert on XYO, and it did get hit. I don't know. Let me go over here and see what my alert was for. XYO when the 4-hour chart gets low on the RSI, I think. Yeah, when it goes below 20 on the RSI. So that's what happened. You see here, that was where my alert was. It went below that, and it's skyrocketing to the upside, so I don't like that. What's going to probably happen here on XYO is, yes, a 4-hour chart got oversold about 4 hours ago, but now you're definitely not overbought yet. You're neutral at 67 on the 4-hour chart for the RSI, but the problem is you're going up so fast on the RSI that I believe you're probably going to make a lower high. But I guess if you want to make a double top, even a double top won't be bullish. You have to make a higher high above this last high right here, which was 0.0067. So basically, if you want to be bullish, you have to break 0.0068 at least. So that is the target to beat, is 0.0068. If you can't do that, you're not bullish. And it's really that simple. So I'm going to put an alert there. If it breaks that, I'd look at it again. But overall, it's definitely not time to enter the trade because, like I said, the 4-hour chart is high. Let's look. I bet the 1 hour is cooked. 1 hour is cooked and coming down. It just topped out. I don't think you should short this. I mean, you definitely could based on the 1 hour chart. But the daily chart does look bullish to me. I like what I'm seeing on the daily chart. Daily chart is in an uptrend on the RSI, or about to be bullish again, crush bullish. So 4-hour chart and 1 hour chart definitely need to reset on XYO. But the daily chart looks good to me to go. And then Chili's. What exchange is this on? USDT. It's a KuCoin. All right. So Chili's is also low on the daily. It is kind of crossing bullish. I do think the daily chart's due for a move up on Chili's. On the 4-hour chart, that's a downtrend, so you still need to wait on that one. That's probably going to take at least the rest of the day to reset, and the 1-hour chart has reset. So 1-hour chart's ready to go. How about the 15? 15 minutes ready to go, but the 4-hour chart, you definitely have to wait on that one. Although it is pretty low, so if you do want to take a trade, it would be higher risk, but it's relatively low that you could probably do it, and it wouldn't be super high risk because it is at 22. So within probably 8 hours, that will have reset anyway. So you could take a trade. I would probably still wait, but because the 1 hour and 15 minute are low, maybe you'd want to take it right now. You're trying to hold this high volume node as support where there's a lot of liquidity at, which is at 21.5, 21.4 technically. So anything below 21 cents is definitely bearish. If you lose 21 cents, you are no longer bullish on Chili's. So that is the last. I mean, you can't lose 21 cents. If we go to the daily chart, let's see if there's where the next zone below 21 cents would be. The next biggest one would be all the way down at 10.37. Not saying you go down there, but you also have a decent one here at 14.8. So, but you can't lose 21 cents to me to still be bullish. It kind of looks like right now, Chili's is at least on the daily chart in a falling wedge. So that would be a good move. A good indication you're going to go to the upside, especially with the RSI being low. So I do like what I'm seeing on the daily chart, but the smaller time frames like the 4-hour chart still need to reset a little bit. Not crazy overbought, but Chili's is probably going to be ready for a trade or for a move to the upside within the next 12 to 24 hours. Measured move would be 31 cents if it broke to the upside, which happens 70% of the time in falling wedges. So I'm going to put an alert. If it starts to have a breakout above 22 cents, I'd look at this again. And if it does, maybe I'll make a video on it. So 22 cents is what you have to watch out for a breakout. 21 cents is what you have to look out for a move to the downside. So it's really that simple. To me, it looks bullish on the larger time frames. Smaller time frames kind of still need to reset, but 1 hour chart does look ready. 15 looks ready. 4-hour chart is almost ready. So to me, this looks pretty good. But you have to hold this high volume node here at 21 cents. So if there's any other requests, let me know. How is GALA going? Let me look at that. So let's go over and look at GALA. All right, so we'll start on the daily chart. Daily chart for GALA is in a downtrend right now. On the RSI at 73, so to me that's not a good long position. The 4-hour chart has more momentum to the upside though, and the 1-hour chart is in a downtrend. So with the mixed signals, I would not be taking a trade on GALA. Let's go back to the daily chart and see how it's looking. I mean, you could say this is a I'm not gonna say that's a falling wedge. You fell down so fast right here that you can't really say that. It just doesn't look clean. We just looked at a coin that did have a good falling wedge on it, which was CHZ. So that would be what a good falling wedge would look like. I'm trying to see how I can compare the charts because I never do it. CHZ USDT. I did not want to do that. I'm trying to see how I can CHZ USDT KuCoin. I'm not doing it right. I know there's a way you can put two charts side by side. If anyone knows, let me know. I never do it, so that's the reason why I don't know. I'll just do it on here then. CHZ USDT, and I'll just flip the screens back and forth. And I want to show you what a falling wedge that I like would look like on the daily chart. So, first of all, that's what a falling wedge should look like. It can't look like this where it's up, down, up, down, up, down. That would just be pushing it to call that a falling wedge. That's what a falling wedge looks like, where you have a consistent downtrend, and now the RSI is low, right? That's a good reason for a breakout trade. And you have a falling wedge here. That's the second reason. And you're at support with the high volume node here. So that's three reasons to believe that this will break to the upside. This, to me, just looks like you're in a continuous downtrend. There's really no support here. You're not at a high volume node. So to me, you kind of actually are at a high volume node. I'm trying not to do that. You kind of are. But overall, you're not really at support. The RSI is overbought, and like I said, so to me, it's probably going to keep going to the downside. And like I said, that'd be pushing into calling it a falling wedge, so I'm not going to call that a falling wedge. This doesn't look very good to me on GALA. The coin that I've liked so far has been CHZ, so yeah, I don't like what I'm looking at on GALA. It's probably going to keep falling to the downside. You do have support from way back here, if you guys can see that. You have support right there at 2 cents. Which is 50% lower. And then from there, it just went parabolically to the upside. So you really don't have any support right here. To me, I bet you probably see at least 2 cents on GALA here in the next few weeks, unless Bitcoin just goes parabolic to the upside, which is possible, but unlikely. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at on those coins. If you guys have any other requests, let me know. A coin I did like that I'm currently in a trade in since I think Tuesday. Maybe it was I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Wednesday at the latest. We'll call it Wednesday. Since Wednesday, so the last 4 days, I've been in this trade, and it was hard. I entered at 32. It went all the way down to like 28. My stop loss was at 27, and now it's trying to make a higher low on the 4-hour chart. So I like what I'm seeing on Luna Classic. The 4-hour chart, I believe it was the 4-hour chart. But now the problem is that look at this. So if you're entering long, that's not smart. The 4-hour chart's completely overbought, and the 1-hour chart is in a downtrend. So you're probably going to have a pretty big move back to the downside. And the daily chart's also down. So to me, this doesn't look bullish right now. I'm going to stay on the trade and just see what happens. Hopefully the 4-hour chart can make a higher low. The previous low was at this level right here at 28 cents. Yeah, 0.0028, so not 28 cents. But yeah. So as long as the 4-hour chart stays above 28 or makes a double bottom there before you move up, that's fine. If you go below 28 by the time the RSI gets oversold, or before the RSI gets oversold, that's bearish. So that's why I'm looking to hold. If you go below 28 on Luna Classic, you're not bullish. But as long as you stay above that, by the time the 4-hour chart resets, that's good for Luna Classic. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. On Luna Classic, you could still definitely be in the downtrend, but the 15-minute chart was making higher highs and higher lows, so I did like what I was seeing there. I'm just going to remove drawings and just kind of start clean here. See, you're making you're in an uptrend, right? But that's kind of what I was looking at for Luna Classic. I'm just kind of So definitely ends in uptrend short term until the 15-minute chart makes a lower low or a lower high. Then that's probably when you're going to get the price reversal. As of right now, that hasn't happened. You just made a higher high at 2978. So as of right now, you're still in uptrend on Luna Classic until you go below 29.3. You're still bullish, or until maybe the next time the 15-minute chart makes a high. See, your RSI is oversold on the 15-minute chart, but you made a higher low, so that's bullish. The previous higher low was all the way back here, literally back here at 28.85, and you just made a higher low here at 29.3. So the 50-minute chart is telling you want to continue higher, and the 1 hour and 4 hour chart say they want to dump. So can the 50-minute save you and continue higher? We will see. I'd like to see us get back above 30 and stay above 30, but based on the 1 hour chart and 4 hour chart, I don't think it's going to happen today. But you have a high volume node here at 30, so you have to stay above 30 if you want to be bullish on the larger time frames. 50-minute chart is technically still bullish, but the 1 hour, 4 hour chart, and technically the daily are bearish, so be careful. I would not enter long here, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. And maybe you could even say this, and maybe this is pushing it, maybe it is, but I kind of see a cup and handle right here on, I'm trying to delete that, I want to do this, on Luna Classic. I kind of see a cup and handle which break to the upside nearly 70% of the time, 68% of the time. So now what you would look for is a handle, something like that, and you kind of are getting the handle right now, and then you would take your measured move from the start of the cup and handle, right? From the start of the cup and handle, from the start, which was right there, to the low of the cup and handle, which was right there, or about that, and you'll get your measured move, which would be 30 exactly. So that would take you right to resistance. So I would be surprised, based on the 50-minute chart is telling you want to go up to 30 before you at least have a dump. So at least 30 is probably the next target for Luna Classic. If you and then probably we'll see what happens from there. If you make a higher low, then you're going to probably go above 30. If you make a lower low or a lower high, then you're probably going to have a major dump based on the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. So that's kind of what when the 1 hour and 4 hour chart are cooked, you got to look for the 50-minute chart to tell you how much longer the run up can continue for. So that's it for Luna Classic. If you guys are enjoying this, appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe, right? We go live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time, and we go live on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Central Time. So be sure to like and subscribe. Or hit the follow button if you guys are TikTok, because we do go live twice a week. So, all right. So let me catch up on chat because I forgot about that. GALA long term. It's not one I would hold, but I think it'll be fine long term. What patterns do I find most successful? Well, I really like this cup and handle one. And so cup and handle falling wedges are, I think, the ones that break out to the upside most of the time. I know there's a YouTuber that really likes a cup and handle, but I think cup and handle and falling wedges break to the upside about 70% of the time. So those are the two I like a lot, and they're probably the most successful. So we'll see if this cup and handle breaks. I guess in a day or two we can come back and see if it broke to the upside. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on Luna Classic. That is definitely a cup and handle. Now that I really zoom in on the 15-minute chart, I believe that's going to break to the upside. You definitely have your handle here. Measure move is definitely 30. So to me, this is this is very likely to break to the upside. I'm just going to make sure I got my measure move correct. Yep. Basically is 29.97 when I do it a second time. So 30 is your measured move right now for Luna Classic. So you got a coin that's breakout right now. It's FCON. And could you do Bitcoin, please? I already did Bitcoin. If you guys missed it, I can go over it again. But also, you guys can review what I went over on YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel as well. So you can just rewatch it when the stream's over. Crypto Boss Andrew on YouTube. You're probably going to head up high to the highs for an M formation dump to the downside on Luna Classic, or what? So let's go look at FCON because someone said it's breaking out, and I want to go look at that. So let's go look at FCON. By the way, I really like what I'm seeing on CHZ right now as well. So that's what I'm going to keep on the radar is CHZ. FCON. It's on KuCoin, of course. Oh, okay, here's the problem, guys. I'm not going to look at this. I don't care if it's on KuCoin or not. 15-minute chart. Where are the candles? That's missing candles means there is no volume on FCON. No volume. So I can't. Let's just go and look at how much volume this has right now. FCON. I bet it's low. I bet it's very low. The volume right now is saying it's only 178,000. That's extremely low volume. I would not personally trade this just because of that. Yeah, it's up 9%, but there's no... one buy would make it go up 9% probably. Also, if you just look at the daily charts in a humongous downtrend, it looks like... Dude. At one point, without that ridiculous wick, it was at 0.7 of a penny, and now it's like... I don't know. Maybe it's 4. Yeah, I don't know. It's down at least 50%. Probably way, way more than that from the all-time high. It's got to be like 95% probably. A chart looks like that. I'm personally not touching it. Probably not even for a trade, especially when it has super low volume. So to me, I'm staying away from that. I'm not even going to try to do TA on that coin, unfortunately. Cardano. I like Cardano over XRP. Yeah, Luna Classic. I would not be surprised if it made an M pattern because, yes, it's unfortunately, even though you didn't have a huge rally over the last few days, Luna Classic, going back to Luna Classic, is overbought on the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. And unfortunately, even though you didn't have a huge move, you're still overbought, and you have to understand that. So I hate to say it because I'm in a long position, but I guess you could definitely have a dump here. Back to 28 for a double bottom, and that'd still be bullish. But if you lose 28, you're gonna have it's gonna be game over for Luna Classic, and you're probably gonna make a lower low on the daily chart. So, yep, I would not be surprised if you made some sort of M. But right now, 15-minute chart is saying you definitely want to go up to 30 again because of the. Not only is it oversold in the 15-minute chart, you have a cup and handle playing out right now, or you do have a cup and handle. I don't know if it's gonna play out, but these play out to the upside 70% of the time. So. It would make sense, and you have a little bit of liquidity up here at 30, right? So at least on the 15-minute chart, at the 4 hour chart, you have it all at 30. So I do think you're going to go up to 30 today, but that could be the final push up, and then you could get rejected hard off of that. So we'll see what happens. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on Luna Classic. Appreciate the likes and the people that follows. Right? We go live twice a week. All right. Yeah, it does. I don't know why it does that. Luna Classic pumps when Bitcoin is dumping. So, Bitcoin dumps today. Maybe it pumps. I think it's hard to understand how that works, right? Because most cryptos just always dump when Bitcoin dumps. But, so appreciate the follow. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting how that works. So, wrapping everything up, unless there's more requests. I like CHZ and a nice falling wedge right now on the daily chart. So, yes, it's going to take probably a few weeks for this to play out. Definitely a few days. But measure move is all the way up there at 31. So, that would be a nice move to the upside. If you're going to be conservative, that's a nice move of about almost 35 to 40%. If you're taking profits early, it's about 30 to 35%, but that's still a nice move. RSI in the 4 hour chart needs to come down, but it's pretty low, and 1 hour chart's ready for a move to the upside, and 15-minute. Personally, actually, if it were me, and if I was going to trade this, I actually would probably get into a long position now. Not financial advice, of course, but the 4 hour chart is low enough where it's not really that much of a worry, and it's probably going to reverse here in about 4 to 8 hours. It's at 25 on the RSI right now, so overall, it's not overbought by any means, and it's almost oversold, actually. So overall, 4 hour chart's going to definitely come lower, probably pushing the price down, but I don't see you going below 21 cents. If you lose 21 cents, this is going to break to the downside. So I like CHZ right now. I do like Luna Classic for at least one more move to the upside before it has a nice move down, which I don't like to say, but 30 is probably going to come for Luna Classic tonight. We'll see what happens. And for Bitcoin, I'm expecting a move to the upside. By tomorrow night, at least 20,000. I think the rest of the day we go sideways on Bitcoin, but I could be wrong. Daily chart's in a downtrend. The 4 hour chart is ready to go, but the 1 hour chart needs to come down more, and 15-minute chart is an uptrend. So 1 hour chart needs to reset. Once that happens, then I am expecting Bitcoin to move to the upside. So that's kind of it for Bitcoin, Luna Classic, CHZ, and that's all I got. If there's any more final requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap things up. And I will be back live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you guys are new, appreciate if you hit that like and follow button. And subscribe if you guys are on YouTube. If you guys want to join my Telegram group, the link is in the bio on YouTube for my videos. And it's also in my bio description on TikTok. So I do have a Telegram group where we talk about crypto from time to time. So feel free to join that. I think there's like 50 to 53 people in there. I don't know exactly. So feel free to join that. Do you think we've seen the low of the market? I think, I don't like to make guesses. I think we have, though. I'm starting, and even if we haven't, that's awesome because then I can buy crypto cheaper. But I have, over the last week, started to buy 3 coins, at least majorly, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I'm starting to DCA into them. Nothing crazy yet. So I think the low is in. If I didn't think it was in, I probably won't start seeing in yet. But I also wouldn't care if we just went sideways at these prices or go a little bit lower, so I can get better entries. But I also love to stay at 18,000, 19,000 so that my DCA price can be around this low. But whatever happens, if we start mooning, then whatever I did buy will go up in value. So I don't care what happens, to be honest with you. But I do think the low is in or very close to being in. That's why I am starting to DCA back into crypto. I think it's close enough where you can start to, if you have the money, you can start to buy now in spurts. So I have a buy set on all 3 coins every month. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I should do it every week actually, but realistically, you're probably you have the bear market in crypto, and then you usually have a year or two where you just go sideways or low. Yeah, you go sideways. So that's probably where we are right now. We're probably going to stay around $17,000 to $20,000 for the next 6 to 12 months or longer, and then most people don't think that's going to happen, but it's usually what happens. You have the bear market, then you go sideways for at least a year, maybe 2, and then at some point you have the halving, and then a few months after that you start to slowly go up, and then at some point you go parabolic, right? So I think the low is very close to being in, or it's close enough to being in where you can start to buy back in. So that's my answer to that. All right, so sushi. Let's look at sushi. USDT. It's on KuCoin. Daily chart. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart's high, overbought, pinned, going to come down, and going to come down hard. But the 4-hour chart is saying you're going to have at least one more push up before that happens, and the 1-hour chart is overbought. So 1-hour chart, wow. 15-minute chart's rolling over. 1-hour chart's about to dump. The 4-hour chart could just get pinned, and we could just go, this thing could crash. But the daily chart's high, the 1-hour chart's high, and the 15-minute chart's rolling over. So the 4-hour chart would look bullish, but based on the high daily and 1 hour, I would stay away from this. Also, you get a nice move up. It is looking like this could potentially form a cup and handle, though. Maybe the 4-hour chart, maybe the 1-hour chart dumps, and then who knows? You could form a cup and handle. Maybe the dump could just be the handle forming before you go up higher on this. If this is a cup and handle, that'd be extremely bullish. Let's get the measured move of this from top to bottom. I'll use the wick. So that is the measured move. Then you're going to form the handle, right? And by no means does it have to go that low, but that's kind of how it would happen. We just saw one on CHZ of cup and handle, so we'll see if that plays out. But the measured move would take you all the way up to $1.65. So that's the measured move right now for this. It does look bullish, but I think you're going to have a move. You're at least going to make this handle before you have a move to the upside. So you could fall down to $1.20 at least. So to me, I wouldn't buy right now, but I would watch and see if it forms a handle. Which handles look just like falling wedges like we saw on CHZ. So that's what you got to watch out for right now. There's going to be a dump probably to at least 120, maybe 110, and then we'll see if we see them break out to 165 or if we see a complete collapse back to where you have support, a strong psychological support and strong support at $1. If you break to the downside and the daily chart dumps, $1 would be the next stop. If it breaks to the upside, $1.65 is the target. So it does look bullish on the larger time frames, but daily chart is going to have to dump probably before this thing can take off, which means that's probably when the handle would form. So there's a cup and handle on the daily though, so I would say by the end of the month, you're probably going to have a nice move to the upside. But I would say middle of the month to the late stages of the month, you're probably going to dump. In the very late end of the month, you're probably going to have a move to the upside. That's just what I'm guessing. I could be very wrong, but it does look bullish to me with a week or two out. Short term, not so much. And then Gears the Truth on YouTube wants me to look at Compound, so let's go look at Compound. Compound right now. Let's look at Compound. Kind of looks like a falling wedge on the daily, kind of. Daily chart's low, so there's two good things for a reason to break to the upside. 4-hour chart's relatively low, and 1-hour chart is very low. And the 15-minute chart is high, but that can reset very quickly. So honestly, I don't really care about the 15-minute chart. I do like what I'm seeing on the daily chart. That looks pretty good to me for a falling wedge. I like what I'm seeing there. Measure move. Go from the high point to the last low point. That'd be a nice move to the upside. $79.80 would be the target. $78. So Compound looks bullish to me right now on the daily chart. A lot of coins are starting to look bullish to me on the daily chart, meaning that's why I'm starting to DCA back in, because I think the low is probably in. And if it shocks me and we keep going lower, then that could happen. But I think the low's in. Also, guys, I see a falling wedge here, but look what else I see. A cup and handle on the daily chart. That most people probably wouldn't see this, but I see a cup and handle on the daily chart, right? I'm going to move this down. I'm not going to use the wicks on this. Measure move. Measure move for this would be, so for the cup and handle, oh my god, I hate this. So right now the measure move for the cup and handle would be what? It's probably going to break out pretty soon here, actually. Measure move for the cup and handle is $84. Measure move for the falling wedge is $78. So those are your two targets right now. Yeah, to me, this looks bullish. Your target's at $78 to $85. We'll just say that. $75 to $85. To me, you have a cup and handle, and you have a falling wedge, which is actually technically the handle, so it's really not a falling wedge, it's just the handle. And you have low on the daily. So to me, this is looking like a move to the upside. I'm going to write this down. CHZ, I like that, and I like Compound right now, so I'm going to write that down. So we'll watch that. I'm going to set alert for this. If it breaks back above $60, it's probably going to mean you're breaking to the upside, and I'll be alerted. And if I need to make a video on it, I can, and I will. So that's it for Compound. Thank you for that request, because that looks really ready to pop. So, all right. So, appreciate the follow. And with that being said, guys, I think that's all I got. Did we look at Quant yet? I don't know. Did we? We looked at GALA. I think I already know what I'm going to see on Quant, though. And I think it's breaking to the upside. I still have this measure move to $170. That's the measure move. Daily chart's reversing back on the RSI, and the 4-hour chart looks bullish to me. No, it does not. 1-hour chart's cooked. 4-hour chart's cooked, and the 1-hour chart is cooked. But I still have the measure move, and still very much playing out, which is 170. So you're going to probably reset on the 4-hour chart. You have to stay above 128 to remain bullish. If you get dumped below that, that's a lower low, which means the uptrend is over. But right now, still definitely in an uptrend. 15-minute chart is making higher lows and higher highs, so 15-minute chart wants to keep going higher. I'm looking for this to probably hit 170. So that's it for quant bullish, but overall, you're kind of late to the trade if you're just going to enter it now. With that being said, guys, thanks guys for joining. I'm going to get out of here, and if you guys enjoyed this, I appreciate if you hit this like and subscribe button, and no problem. Yeah. You've been watching Compound for a while. I think it's about to break out. So if it does, like I said, I'll make a video on it. But thanks, guys, for joining, whoever joined. And we will be live on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And same time next week on Saturday. So if you guys, make sure you put this in your calendar so you don't miss it, right? So I will see you guys on Tuesday. By the way, I'm going to make a few YouTube videos tonight and TikToks videos. So look out for those. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys next week for our next live stream. Until then, trade safe and have a great weekend. Yep. No.